Welcome to the Somos Sunnyside podcast, brought to you by the Communications Department of the Sunnyside Unified School District. Thank you for tuning in while we share stories about the bright side of education.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Somos Sunnyside. That's right, we are Sunnyside, and I'm your host, Jose Gastelum, the proud superintendent of the Sunnyside Unified School District. And it definitely is my favorite time of year, as we're here at the very end of our school year, and we're here at the home of the Jaguars. You know, we're here at Desert View High School, and today on the show we got some seniors. They're going to talk a little bit about their journey, their pathway, and you know, they're a couple weeks from graduation, so I know there's nerves, there's excitement, there's a lot going on in their head as you know, their young careers are closing out when it comes to their high school education and public education. So with that, let's go ahead and introduce our guest today, and then we're going to get right into it. So we have to my left, and you guys introduce yourselves. You guys are seniors now, so go ahead.
My name is Daniel Amaya, and I'm a proud student at Desert View High School.
All right. Thank you, Daniel.
My name is Jasmine Reyna. I'm a proud senior at Desert View High School, as well as the all-student body president.
And my name is Dante Escobar. I'm a proud student of Desert View High School.
So we're here with a bunch of proud Jaguars,
Yes.
proud students, and the student body president.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my wife was a student body president in high
Really?
school. Yeah, I knew she was going to make a lot of money, and she was the
That's
leader of the
awesome.
high school, and so yeah.
Plans right.
Yeah, you got a plan, right? So speaking of plans, I on our shows we always talk a little bit about the student experience, and so our goal is to highlight the great things that are happening in the Sunnyside Unified School District, and in this case, it's Desert View High School, right? And so you all have different pathways, you all are chasing different things, but I want the audience to walk away with, and the listeners to walk away with this piece of, hey, you know what? I got some good advice. I got some good information, and I can see myself years from now as I graduate from my high school doing good things and doing great things, right? And having options, which is probably the most important thing. And so let's get right into it because, as I said earlier, it's my favorite time of year. We just had Dollars for Scholars, which is put on by the Sunnyside Foundation, and they awarded, I believe, almost 60 students over $170,000 in scholarships. And so it's that time of year where we are finding out from our seniors from Sunnyside, Desert View, and Star, what type of scholarships they're getting, what opportunities they're getting. And I believe last year we had nearly $30 million in scholarships, and so we hope to top that this year. So let's get to it. So Daniel, you introduced yourself. I want you to talk a little bit about your plans after high school. We'll get into that, but before you talk about your plans and what you're going to study, what college you're going to go to, tell us a little bit about your pathway, your journey here to Desert View, and kind of what brought you to Desert View, and tell us about those experiences and why you chose the school you chose. So I know that's a lot, but let's get started. We'll guide you. Go.
Just in middle school, a lot of my friends that were already like a grade higher than me, they were going Desert View too. And then I was really into football and baseball. And while I was in middle school, my advisor, Mr. Gross, was the baseball coach, and he told me to go over there so I could play for him. And the football team was just really good, so I knew that was the right decision. So I came here just expecting to thrive, to have a good high school career in sports, and then I feel like I'm a smart kid and I make the right decisions, so I knew I was gonna thrive even in high school, all my schoolwork, Yeah. And then once I got here, I wanted to prove to myself that I could be, the best of my family, to carry on my name.
Absolutely, and I love the confidence. I love that you're talking about, you have confidence in who you are, making good decisions, and so, so where are you planning to go to college?
I'm planning to go to NAU. I just committed and I just got my classes. I'm gonna go study sports journalism.
Okay, and why NAU? Why of all these colleges? Why did you choose NAU?
Just it's just a new scenery for me. Just I just want to go up there and just find something new in myself. Focus on myself for a little bit. Just really get to know me and just know what I really like.
Cool. Are you the first person in your family to go to college?
No, my sister's actually at NAU right now too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you've had a little bit of advice.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit of information on what to expect as you make your transition. So congratulations. I mean,
Thank
that's
you.
such a huge step, for our students to, not only go on a post-secondary education, but sometimes it's hard to leave Tucson, right? I mean, we're if you're like me, I was a big mama's boy, and my mom did everything for me, and I wanted to stay home. I actually lived at home through college, but we won't go into that. But it's a big move to go out of state, be on your own, and but you're a confident young man that makes good decisions. So, Jasmine, tell us a little bit about your path, where you're headed, why you're headed there. I mean, obviously, you have a deep deal of passion, all of you do, for your school, for Desert View. Also being the student body president comes with a big responsibility. But tell us a bit about your choice, and let's go from there.
Well, in middle school, I did go to Gallego, and kind of the same thing off of Daniel. My older friends were going to Desert View, and my friends were all going to Desert View as well. And I remember I mainly picked Desert View from softball. I was getting recruited my 8th grade year. The coach told me, hey, you should try out over here, and so that is why I picked Desert View. And coming in, I mean, it was, I clicked with everyone. I clicked with teachers, I got along really well with everyone. It was just such a good environment here at Desert View at a time, a lot of good moments. And yeah.
So tell us a bit about where you're going to college and why and what you're going to do.
So I plan to attend Eastern Arizona College off of a scholarship for softball.
Awesome.
I'm going to go study nursing there for my 2 years, and then after that, I plan to get picked up somewhere else for softball.
Awesome. So what position do you play?
I'm a pitcher.
You're a pitcher. Awesome. I'd love to go take batting practice against you, man.
Yeah,
So you think you can strike me out?
We'll see.
All right. Love the confidence, and so that's awesome. I always talk about those first individuals to go to college. In Daniel's case, it's his sister. In your case, Jasmine, it's you. Really being the trendsetters, right? Like, you set the example for your younger siblings or your younger cousins, and you prove it can be done, right? Yeah. And so Dante, tell us a little about your journey and where you're headed, and a little bit about your experience, through the high school here and middle school.
Well, growing up, lived across the street from Mission Manor, so walked there every day. And once COVID hit, everything kind of flipped. So I went online to Gallego, and then I didn't really see myself going there after that online year. So I moved over to Lawford with Daniel, and that's where I met him. And I knew a lot of my friends were going to come here to Desert View, but I also had I found a love for culinary arts during COVID. Nice. So the culinary program here brought me over to Desert View.
So are you a good cook?
I like to think I am, but some people have mixed opinions.
Oh, really?
But
we're going to have to do like a taste test or something.
I'll make some birria for you.
Some birria, yum. Queso birria.
I got you.
All right. So where are you headed to school?
I plan to attend ASU for sports journalism, just like Daniel.
All right. So, man, you guys are like joint at the hip here.
Well, yeah, we got a podcast together.
Yeah, me and Danny.
Oh, you have a podcast?
Together. Yeah.
Oh man, I got competition here. Man.
We did a Friday show for Jag TV.
Okay.
So, and then we submitted that to Sauce Film Festival.
Wow. Shoot, I think it might be better than mine. We got some work to do here. So, you've heard it there, listeners. I mean, you have 3 individuals. 2 individuals are going on to study sports journalism, and Jasmine's going to go play softball and also study nursing, as you mentioned. I want, and that's so, I'm looking at it, and it's rare that, and I'm just going to say, we don't get a lot of kids that leave the state, right? We just don't, for whatever reason. And so, a lot of times it's more expensive. Sometimes it's more challenging, right? And so we got some colleges here in our backyard, whether that's the University of Arizona or Pima College, and all 3 of you are out of state right off the bat. Like, not out of state, I'm sorry, out of town. Yeah. Let me correct that. Yeah. So we have an NAU bound, Daniel's NAU bound, Jasmine's Eastern Arizona bound, and Dante is ASU bound. Man, ASU. Sun Devil, huh?
Yeah.
All right, man. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Not gonna lie. Going into the question I always like to ask our students is, do you believe Sunnyside Unified School District prepared you for post-secondary education? Right. You guys are obviously in a position where you have the grades. You've made some choices here in what colleges you're going to. But tell me a little bit about how you feel prepared and why. Like, what did Desiree do for you? What did Sunnyside Unified School District do for you? One of the things I talk a lot about is sometimes our students have that imposter syndrome, like where they don't give themselves enough credit, for the talents that they do have. They second guess themselves, and I think everybody goes through a little bit of that, but some have it, bigger than others, when it comes to that challenge. And I'm not hearing imposter syndrome in the room right now. And so tell me a little bit about, how Desiree, how the Sunnyside Unified School District prepared you for this very moment. So jump in.
Well, first, the opportunities just at the high school level, having the opportunity to go take a dual enrollment credit or having those AP classes just at your disposal is probably one of the best things that we have.
Okay. Love that. Dual enrollment. Taking actually college classes in high school, right? Good. I want Pima College to hear that. You hear that, Chancellor Nasty? And the rest of the team at Pima College, it makes a difference, right? And so tell me why it makes a difference. What does it bring to the table here?
It's more rigorous work. So we're being given college level work, and they're not expecting to get high school level work back. They're expecting for the work to be done and for it to be done right, because
at a high level
we're being taught at a high level.
Right. Mm-hmm. Cool. Super cool. Daniel, Jasmine, what do you have to add to that? Like, how has Desiree prepared you? How Sunnyside Unified School District prepared you for post-secondary?
I think what really helped me prepare myself was just having help from my teachers and just my counselors and stuff. Like being able to go to them and just knowing that they could give me good advice. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even when I just know I don't want to hear it, they're still gonna give it to me. You know what I mean? And I have to take it in. And I have a huge shout out to Miss Nunez here. She always helps me out. Every time I go to her, she always has the right thing to say to me. And
so you've had good support systems.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she always leads me in the right directions when I feel like I'm going off.
Big shout out, Nunez.
Yeah.
All
Big
right.
shout out.
All right, there you go, Miss Nunez. Big shout out to you. And Jasmine?
I would definitely jump on to what both Daniel and Dante said. First with the dual enrollment. I've been taking dual enrollment since my sophomore year. Yeah, I believe it was junior year with Mr. Harris first. The workload was a lot, definitely, but it did teach me hey, this is how it's going to be when you're in college. It really helped me kind of just show this is how it's going to be.
Yeah,
and you're going to have to get used to it now. Mm-hmm. So it's good that I got that experience at such a young age. And again, jumping on to Daniel, we did have a great support system here all the way from my freshman year till now. And with getting me prepared for college and moving out of my town, Tucson, I would definitely say Avid helps me a lot with that. Constantly, every single day, we're getting new work about, okay, this new assignment is imagine your dorm. How are you going to do it? Get excited for it. Just pushing me and showing me new and different things every single day to encourage me, hey,
So actually having conversations about college life, right?
Yeah.
What to prepare for. And so I you're onto something, and I want to ask more questions about that, but we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back.
You will love SUSD. Don't believe us? Just watch. In Sunnyside Unified School District, students dream big, learn boldly, and grow confidently. From hands-on STEM and arts programs to student athletes earning athletic scholarships, Sunnyside District gives every student a place to shine. Enrollment for the 26-27 school year is now available. Enroll today at susd12.org.
All right, we are back, and we're here with Daniel, Amaya, Jasmine Reyna, Dante Escobar, all graduating this month. And, you guys got a couple weeks, right, before graduation. And so, before we talk a little bit about, that, you were talking a little bit about being prepared, Jasmine. And one of the things, like, I want to talk a little bit about is this piece of agency, what we call student agency, right? And that means that students are able to advocate for themselves, be resilient. If you need help, you go get help. If you need support, you go get support. Because when you guys are in college, you're going to run into a time where you're going to feel like the roof's caving in on you a little bit. You're going to be like, darn, this is hard. Or, you know what? I don't know what decision to make here. And so how are you going to navigate through that? Because I'm just going to say it. I'm pretty direct when it comes to these things. Like, the easiest thing to do is quit. Anybody can quit, right? Anybody can say, I'm done. Screw this. I'm not doing it anymore, right? But those people that are successful know how to persevere through those difficult times. So, when that happens to you, what are you going to do? Like, what do you fall back on? What skill sets have you learned? Like, because you're going to have them, right? You're going to have that time, or you may have that, one class where you get a bad grade and you're like, okay, how do I bounce back from this, right?
Yeah.
So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't know. I just guess like, just like family and friends. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm going to NAU with a lot of my friends too. And they always. I feel like they help me the most too. Whenever I'm, lost or like even in the class. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what I'm doing exactly. Like they always just try to get me on the right direction too. You know what I mean? And I feel like even like here in Desert View, like if like I'm going through something trouble, like it shaped me to who I am now. And I can't wait to see like what I become in high school or in college too.
Sure. You guys want to add to that?
Like Daniel said, having the support systems. Like I know we're all leaving out of Tucson, but we're all going to be close enough to still have our families. Yeah. We're going to be able to come back and visit them. So being able to stay close, but able to go back to them is always nice. And then you brought up student agency. Shout out Benton in Peru.
Okay.
So, but just being able to like go out and talk to the teachers, just having that accountability to say, okay, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And then either them guide you, like how the teachers do here at Desert View, or for them to just be like, hey, you gotta find it out on your own.
Yeah. It's now Dr. Peru.
Oh yeah, Dr.
Just,
I'm so sorry.
Just, yes. Dr. Peru. Congratulations, Dr. Peru. And would you want to add anything to that, Jasmine?
Yeah, definitely jumping back on when you said, like, how you said it's easy to give up. I would definitely say, like, softball has taught me so much about, like, I mean, it's a rough game. Like, losing, you go 6-0 a tournament, coming the championship game, you lose. You're pitching that game and you lose the game. And it teaches you, like, dang, like, you just want to give up.
Bounce back, huh?
But you just bounce back. And I say, like, I bring that from what I learned from softball, I bring that onto school. Like,
love it.
I bring that, like, into my classes, like, oh, I bombed a test. I did terrible. But, I mean, there's a new assignment coming up. All you can do is just ask for help, more tutoring, stay after school, spend extra hours on that certain assignment, and do better the next time.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, just because one bad thing happens doesn't mean it's going to continue on and you should just give up.
Right. So, only if you allow it, right?
Only if you allow it.
So I love the refuse to lose mentality, right? And so you guys are all really talking about making sure you identify your support systems wherever you go, right? I mean, Ms. Nunez ain't going to be there next year, right? But she's a phone call away, she's an email away. There may be another Ms. Nunez out there where you at NAU, right? At ASU or at Eastern. And so you develop those relationships with those people are willing to help you, right? And so, I agree wholeheartedly with you, Jasmine, because I had a similar path. I went to Pima College right out of high school to play baseball, and I was a first-generation college-going student, and so I had to navigate my way. And a lot of my teammates, everything that was a first for me wasn't for them, right? And so I kind of felt like out of place a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, you tell yourself, like, hey, you know what? They put on their shoes the same way I do. They put on their pants the same way I do, and I can do this, right? And you're prepared, and you guys can do this because this doesn't happen by accident. You guys didn't get these opportunities because they're just throwing out opportunities, right? You created this opportunity, and like Daniel said earlier, by making good decisions, by performing, and you have the grades. You guys deserve credit academically. You meet the academic standard for these institutions, and that's why you're there. So to the listeners out there, it's don't let anybody tell you can't do it. And if you want it bad enough, then you go make it happen, right? And there's people that are gonna help you out. And so, all right. So let's shift gears here a little bit. How are you guys feeling about graduation? I mean, you're a couple weeks away. It's kind of I'm going to use the common word out there in the social media world. It's surreal, right? It's probably surreal for you that it's like 13 years, because we always count the kindergarten, of course, right? Some people count preschool 14, but you're graduating. Yeah. You are leaving high school for good. No more free lunches, I'm sure you're going to miss them, and I'm teasing. But tell me a little bit about, how are you guys feeling? Are you excited? Are you anxious? Are you a little bit of both? I mean, jump in. I want the listeners to hear this.
I would say it's like, I feel really bittersweet about it. I feel like I'm ready for the next chapter in my life. I feel like I know what I want. And I've matured so much over my 4 years here at Desert View that I know what I want, and I'm ready to go and explore something new, And it honestly just feels super bittersweet. I mean, I'm nervous to live in to figure it all on my own. I'm living over there at Eastern on my own. I'm going in knowing no one. Yeah. I know absolutely no one besides the coach. She's not sharing a dorm with me. So I kind of just, I would say that's the only thing I'm nervous about, is having to start over and meet new people. But, I feel I'm matured and I'm ready for that next chapter in my life.
Cool. Love it.
I agree with Jasmine. It's kind of bittersweet because I've really enjoyed my time here. And I feel like the word I've been using is I've gotten comfortable over the last couple months, because I've gotten into that routine. It's high school, we come to school, we do our thing. But you always got to go out of your comfort zone. You gotta move on and find something new. And I think I'm ready to move on too.
Man, you guys are like sharp kids, man, or young adults, I should say. I love that. We in our organization, when we talk to our leaders, we always talk about get comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? I mean, and that's life. Every step you take, the next phase of your life, sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, but you got to get comfortable with it, right?
Exactly.
And it's what we talked about earlier. It requires some resiliency. It requires persevering through those difficult moments, right? And the good thing is you have tomorrow, right? And you get to do it all over again. And so, cool. So let me ask you this question: if looking back at your public school experience, your K-12 experience, and even just your high school experience, would you change anything? What would you tell your younger self, right? I mean, and of course, life's about learning, right? Life's is stages. We all, I love Jasmine earlier said, I've grown up so much. I've grown as a person here at Desert View, and but what would you change? I mean, because I look back and I was kind of a knucklehead, and I wish I would have known things like. And I probably did, but I didn't pay attention, like GPA matters. Your GPA adds up, accumulative, all your 4 years, that kind of thing that we try to stress to freshmen. But, I probably should have had a better GPA. So, looking back, would you change anything? Just throwing it out there.
I would like to say I'd like to change stuff, but I don't think I would. Just I feel like it shaped me to who I am now, and I'm proud of who I am right now. And I don't think I would want to change anything, because I just like who I am right now.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Comfortable in your own skin, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say change, but I would go back and tell myself to, like how you said, freshmen. Right. Don't mess around freshman year. That's the most important year. I know junior year is a big year, but freshman year is what builds your character first.
Mm-hmm. What advice do you have for students coming into high school? And that was a little bit of advice there, right? Talking about freshmen, and we, another question was about if you would change anything in your experience, and you could answer that too if you want, Jasmine. But the other piece of the question is, what advice do you have for kids? And I always use the word kids. what advice do you have for our students that are entering high school, right? Because I think you guys would agree that the 4 years go by pretty darn quick, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It goes by fast. Like here you are,
You think they're lying
like
to you, but
like a few
Yeah.
days, you know, couple weeks from graduating, and you know, 4 years ago you were a freshman, felt like yesterday. So what advice would you give those students and even their parents? Like seriously, like even the parents.
My advice personally is have a plan. I mean, I came into high school like, okay, it's high school, you know, just go through the motions, you know, and that didn't work for me. I had zero plan coming in. I had no idea what I was gonna do, like for college, I would say, and stuff. So I came in flat. I came in not really caring about my grades. You know what I mean? I came in like, you know, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends, try to fit in.
Huh?
Yeah, like my entire like mindset in my freshman year was trying to fit in, and you know, trying to be friends with everyone and please everyone. But at the end of the day, this is your experience and like this is your like future.
That's right.
And I would just say like coming in your freshman year, focus on yourself, and you know, friends will come.
Yeah.
The right friends will come around.
Love it. That's great advice.
Yeah, and just come in with the plan. Come in knowing like your freshman year is really what matters and what counts.
Yeah.
Because one little slip up, you're having to retake a class your junior summer year. Like my junior year, in the summer, I retook 2 classes because my GPA was so low because of those 2 classes I was messing around in.
Right.
You know, so.
just piggybacking off of that, I couldn't agree more. Like my junior year, I spent traveling, or junior year summer, I spent traveling, but I was on my laptop the whole time because I was retaking the math classes just to get my GPA up. So it's no joke. You gotta find yourself in the books before you find your friends.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Love it. Anything you want to add to that, Daniel? Or?
I think my only advice I could give to anybody is just don't be afraid to ask for help. There's people here that are willing to help you. Just gotta put yourself out there. Just don't be shy. There's gonna be teachers here and even people you meet that are always gonna help you out. And you just can't be afraid to ask for help and ask for advice.
All right. I mean, that's good advice, you know, coming from all three of you. And you know, I look back, I think a lot about our students, right? And I think about, you know, the transitions are the hardest. When I think of transitions like going from 6th grade to middle school, that's hard. Going from 8th grade to freshman year, that's hard, right? Going from a graduate to college, that's hard. All those transitions are difficult. And for our freshmen, I mean, you know, as you said, Jasmine, there's a lot of pressure on freshmen, right? Like you're trying to fit in. You're the, you know, freshmen are the, you know, low man on the totem pole when it comes to high school, right? And when you're going to school with you know, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and so it comes at you probably 100 miles an hour and in different directions, and you got to make good decisions. But what I heard here is, man, take care of your grades and don't worry so much about the friends. The friends will take care of themselves. And you know, my dad used to, when I was younger, you know, always gave me that advice. In Spanish, he would say, "En este mundo no hay amigos," right? Like in this world, there is no friends. He goes, the only friends you got is your parents. You know, in terms of, do we have acquaintances? Absolutely. You know, and yeah, you might find a true good friend there, but you know, you guys are going to quickly find out once you start college and start your own. Everybody starts their own thing, right? After high school, they're doing their own thing, and you'll be lucky enough if you keep in touch with a few of them, you know. And it's sad to hear that, but it's kind of a reality, to be honest with you. And so, you know, I hope I'm wrong, but you know, it's just you know, you guys, just like you said earlier, you know, friends will come.
100%.
Well, the true friends are going to find you after high school too, right? So, all right. So as we close here, I always love to close these shows with like a shout out, right? Like, you know, who were these people that helped you out? You know, who were these people that were so influential in your success as students? Whether they were teachers, coaches, counselors, whether it was your parents, siblings, cousins, you know, the floor's open for some shout outs. So who do you want to shout out to?
You guys can go first. I got a little bit of a list now that I think about it.
Oh, man. This is a 30-minute show there, Dante.
Okay, I could go first.
All right.
I would definitely shout out my mom. She's been the biggest support system, I mean, ever. She really pushed me through everything, pushed me to stay in softball. Like, you know, you want to continue playing softball after high school. Like, you want to continue this journey. Like, who knows where it could take you. And here I am, you know, full ride scholarship. Yeah. And she doesn't have to stress about paying anything. Yeah. I mean, if I want to go out and eat, like, she doesn't worry about that.
The little things, right?
But, I mean, full on college tuition, like, that is all taken care of. That's because awesome. She pushed me and pushed me. So I give all of her the credit.
Congratulations. That's it. And, you know, I'm sure you got proud mama for sure.
Definitely.
So.
And then I just want to shout out my parents first, because they're the ones that pushed me, just like how Jasmine's mom did. They pushed me to do everything. They pushed me to go try new sports, go try new things, and they're the ones that pushed me to get out of here, to go find somewhere that I'd want to be. Yeah. And then shout out my second grade teacher, Miss Nogales. She was always there for me, even after second grade. Okay. She shows up for me all the time. And then Daniel knows Miss iGems. Miss iGems was one of the best English teachers. Yes. She helped us a lot with, like, she helped me personally with a lot of, like, my English work, and I think that's why I want to start working in journalism. Okay. And shout out Ben and Peru.
All right. Dr. Peru.
Dr. Peru.
Get that right. All right. Daniel.
I think it just, you know, I like to start off by shouting my parents. Like, they always push me too, just like Jasmine said, you know. Just like anytime I felt like, you know, I was like down and out, just wanted to quit, you know, they always pushed me and told me that, like, they know what I'm capable of, and they know, like, if I quit, I'm going to regret it. So, like, who I am today, I give it all to them. And then I like to shout out, like, Miss Nunez, like I said. She's just, like, always there for me. I just, like, could always go for it. I always feel like she's always there for me to, like, you know, for a shoulder to lean on. And then I like to shout out Coach Bo, too. Coach Bo, like, just, like, in football, just always, like, you know, he pushed me, and then I never realized it then. You know, I'd always be mad at him for, like, yelling at me or something. But just, like, now, he was shaping me. He was trying to get me ready, you know, and even now, you know, he's like one of my closest friends too. Yeah, just like I like to shout him out too.
It's that mentality of, you know, hate me now, love me later, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So that's I guess that's kind of a football coach thing, right? So awesome. You know, I've truly enjoyed having you guys on this show. I am just so impressed with how mature you guys are, how smart you guys are. I mean, I'm not surprised by it, but I'm impressed how you handle yourselves as individuals, and the future's bright for you guys. It is truly, truly bright, and I think, you know, I'd love to have you guys on this show 4 years from now to talk a little bit about where you're at, what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, if your careers don't work out, we always need teachers. If you guys want to be teachers, I always got to throw that in there. And so I'm sure you'll be giving back to your community in some way. And so I want to congratulate you guys, and you know, we'll see you guys at graduation. And also want to congratulate your parents, you know, because they did an awesome job of raising, you know, fine men and women that we have here on the show today. And so big shout out to our parents. And you know, we always say we know our parents have choices and students have choices of where they want to go to school, and we thank you guys for choosing, you know, the Sunnyside District, and in this case Desert View High School. And so just so excited for you guys. So congratulations, your future is bright, and we will see you soon. And at graduation, you know, I always end it with once a Jaguar, always a Jaguar, right? And so with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode of Somos Sunnyside. Hasta la próxima. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Somos Sunnyside. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found it entertaining. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe and share our podcast with la comunidad. For updates on future episodes and more, be sure to follow us on social media and visit our website at susd12.org. We appreciate your support and can't wait to have you back for the next episode. Hasta la próxima vez en Somos Sunnyside.